Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. And back in January, the Emmy Award-winning show Love on the Spectrum Season 2 debuted on Netflix. I was very blessed and grateful to be seen on that show in a little cameo for an event that I co-founded here in Atlanta called Table Talk. It's where it's a premier social opportunity for young adults on the spectrum to mix, mingle, make social opportunities, and possibly find love, which is why Connor Tomlinson showed up. He's a cast member with Love on the Spectrum, and he came to a Table Talk event to see if he could make a match. And he did. We went out on a couple of dates from Table Talk, and since he's been back. But I thought we would take the time, now that it's been 6 months and life has changed, social media has changed, merch has changed, everything has changed in this gentleman's life. I wanted to find out, where are we now? Please welcome to the show Connor Tomlinson and his mom, Lee Smith. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Hey there.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Gina.
Yeah, it's nice to see you guys again, too. Hey, so Connor, I have to ask, when we go back to January, try to think back to when the show first came out. Like, all of a sudden, your socials just blew up. I saw you went from like 100 followers to 3,000 to 15,000. This morning, I checked your followers. You have 334,000 followers.
Wow.
Like, I know. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like I've made a real difference in this world, and I've grown a lot as a person.
I know. And you know what? And you have a voice now that other people, and you can help other people through social media too, right? Now, have you had any like stalkers or haters or anything really crazy?
Nope, just people trying to replicate, trying to copy my profiles.
Oh, yeah, we've had a couple of subscribers jump in and say, hey, I think this is someone pretending to be you.
Really? I mean, I would imagine anything happens, right, Mom?
Yes. And honestly, just a lot of love and support come through the social media for you, right?
Yep.
Maybe one or two trolls that we quickly got rid of.
And let's turn our eyes and attention to you for a second, Lisa. Did you ever think you'd be like a mom manager?
Never. No, we joke around like the momager. Yeah, it's real and it's crazy. And no, I mean, I still have a full-time job selling granite. So to help him and get his stuff sorted out in the evenings and weekends, it's a full-time job.
Yep.
I know. So, you have since come back to a Table Talk, Connor. Those matches that you made outside of, Emily and Sasha, who were both on the show as well. Like, have you had a chance to connect with any of your matches?
Well, I did recently send a message to Emily. It was a picture of me at the Renaissance Festival.
I think, and she was saying outside of Emily.
Yeah.
Have you reached out to any of the guys that, you became friends with?
Oh, well, I haven't spoken to Sam in a while.
Oh, yeah. Sam's great.
He is awesome. I think, too, part of what's going on for Connor right now is just he's being pulled in a lot of directions, aren't you?
Yeah.
I see that you're traveling a lot. Who's the coolest person you've met so far?
I think it would be from the show, you mean?
Yeah, or anybody, the coolest person you've met so far.
I think maybe Abby.
Okay, and you just recently went out to LA and met the cast members. So Abby was pretty cool, and you got to meet Danny and the whole cast from all the seasons, right?
Yep.
Pretty much. It was super impromptu, so it wasn't an official, but we didn't get to meet James yet.
Nope.
But we think you and James would be pretty cool, don't you?
Yep.
Have you met any celebrities outside of, you being a celebrity? Have you met any, Bradley Coopers who we know watch the show and love on the Spectrum?
We haven't met Bradley Cooper, but I did see a video get sent to Tanner from Jack Black.
Yeah, wasn't that so cool? And I saw Tanner on Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yep. We did meet Holly Robinson Pete. She was the mediator for the Netflix event that we were invited to.
Yeah.
I think I love Holly, and I'd love to have her on the show because, she, as far as Hollywood is concerned, she was the first parent, probably not the first parent to have a child on the spectrum, but the first parent to really vocalize about that. And then you had your Jenny McCarthy's and so forth and so on. So it's really being on the spectrum is becoming all inclusive in all areas of business, including Hollywood, which is kind of cool, right?
It's amazing. And Holly was just she was great, wasn't she? And then even after just talking to her, she was so amazing. And her son works for the Dodgers, the LA Dodgers.
That's cool. Now, are you still working at Kroger? And what do your employers think about you being on a hit series and, traveling and...
Well, they're pretty happy. Some of them might think it might bring in more business, which I'm hoping to. More business, more customers, more business, more money.
Heck yeah.
You're a business mind.
I love it. And you're keeping yourself busy. I saw you went up to Broadway and you got to do that Neil Diamond. I saw you singing Sweet Caroline. My heart just literally jumped out of my body. I was so happy for you.
Thank you.
How was that?
Well,
was that cool?
I was a bit nervous at first, but in the end, I got up there and I sang. Later on social media, I said I dedicated it to my grandfather in England.
That's awesome.
He always wanted me to be a singer, or at least sing in a choir.
Who knew? I guess I see it, and that's why people have to follow you on socials, because I see you doing little vignettes and telling little stories and little fun facts, and it's just awesome. Connor, when you travel, do they fly you out to LA in like a private jet, or are you?
No, I just fly regular.
They put us in business class.
Hey, but if you got to fly in a private jet outside of your family, who would you bring with you?
With anyone outside my family. I think it would be my dog Coco.
Heck yeah. Coco needs to fly in a private jet for sure.
You and Coco. I don't know. I don't even know if there would be room for another woman in Connor's life between him and Coco. My God.
Hey, Connor, tell me about your podcast. It's Car Rides with Connor, and it's growing in popularity.
It's more of a YouTube channel, actually.
Okay. What's going on with that? Because I see your sister is also involved with some of those car rides now, too.
Yeah, sometimes I have guest drivers or that's on the show, guest stars on the show.
And you just randomly talk about whatever you want to talk about at the moment, right?
Yeah.
When did you start that?
Because every morning I drive him to work, I would learn something new. And I would come to work and I would tell my coworkers, guess what I learned today? And my boss is like, you should write it down. And I'm like, I'm never going to write it down. So we literally started the show a couple of years ago just for family and friends, because every day I was learning this crazy fact I'd never heard. And it really started off, we had 97 subscribers. Now we're over 6,300.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's crazy. And we get comments, we interact now, but it's just like people like to be in the car with us in the morning. I don't know.
I like to be in the car with you in the morning, too. You know what? Because I learned something, just like you, Mom. I learned something about Lyric and life every single day, too. He opens my eyes and I'm like, oh.
Like I was today years old and he's like half my age. Yeah. I'm like,
when we get back with Connor and Lise, we're going to find out a little bit about the merch. We're going to find out a little bit about what's on the horizon right here on Life with the Spectrum. Stay with me.
Hi, I'm Brad Grzelka, owner of Atlanta Swim Academy.
You really don't have a program like this anywhere else.
Very passionate about water safety and providing the best swimming lessons possible in East Cobb.
Make it all fun and get them comfortable with the water.
We are
Atlanta Swim Academy.
Atlanta Swim Academy.
Atlanta Swim Academy.
Woo!
We are Atlanta Swim Academy.
Welcome back to Life with the Spectrum. I'm your host, Gina Cavalli. With me today, Connor Tomlinson, his mom, Lise. You guys are so lovely. You know, on screen, off screen, you have a beautiful family. And I thought it was really cool that you came up with this line of merch. one of which has the little table talk, match card line. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. She's not that into nature.
And Emily has been an amazing sport with that design.
Yeah.
For sure. So tell me about the merch. Like, how did that come to be?
Merch, how did it come?
Do you know how it came to be?
Well, it all started after filming season 2, and I was told that if I was to trademark all my signature quotes into merchandise and I could sell some, maybe make money, take a cut of that.
We haven't really done any crazy trademarking. I think what happened was we were seeing on your social media, people were saying the lines that they liked and asking for, I would wear that on a shirt. I want that on a hoodie. And it was people coming to us saying, we would wear this. I would buy 20 of those t-shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we just kind of pulled it all together and said, okay, what's it going to take to do that?
That's great. And you guys have done terrific with that. I love all of your quotes from the show, and you've come up with a few since then. It was kind of funny being on the show. When my phone number would come up and they would film, it would say Gina speed dating on it, right? So that's how people were texting me, Connor and Lisa. They were texting me going, I'm changing my name, your name in my phone to Gina Speed Dating.
It's like that. That's how it came about. Yeah.
I've known him for 30 years. I'm all of a sudden Gina Speed Dating now.
That's how it kind of organically came together.
I love that. And you've done some really great things with your merch. I know that you donated in Autism Awareness Month back in April. You did a huge campaign for 2 great organizations here in Atlanta. Spectrum Autism Support Group, which Claire, my partner in these table talks, runs, and then also Creative Services up in Forsyth County, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think you did a show with Lisa Bennett from Creative. We watched that episode, and so yeah, we actually we did close out the month. We know our donation amounts, and we need to now kind of, we want to go and present the checks. I need to coordinate with Claire and Creative, but we're really excited. Technically, we're just waiting. Connor has a little business account. We're waiting for the actual checks to come in the mail.
Yeah.
We never had checks.
You know what, Connor? And what I like is because you are so popular and you're a hometown guy right here to Atlanta, I know that the AJC, you could get a lot of support out there when you go to deliver that check, and that furthers the autism community and keeps it moving forward, right?
Yeah. And part of like the biggest thing that we always hear about autism awareness. I think what they're starting to do now, what we feel strongly about, is the autism acceptance piece, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? You're really pushing for acceptance.
Yeah, I'm really pushing to. I mean, I know I may be neurodiverse, but deep down, I just want a regular, normal life. Like to be treated no different than any neurotypical person.
I agree. And we all should treat each other like the way we want to be treated. So whether you're different or not, we all want to be treated with respect and kindness, honesty, sincerity. Mom, how do you feel, like, for you, now having gone through this experience since January, like 6 months down the line, what do you love most about seeing all of this for Connor? Like, I'm sure you've seen him change and grow as a person and a young man. What's the best thing?
Just the knowledge now of like a little bit of the fear of the unknown or what next step for him is out there and looming, that the knowing he's got it, the confidence, the mature man that he is now, that I can't even say 6 months ago. He has changed so much, and that I know he's going to rise to the occasion, the confidence, and it's just incredible. It's incredible, the change and the fear I felt maybe even 18 months ago about his trajectory and where he might be or what he might need. It's different. I mean, this is a different guy. And as a parent, just going from this little person to he doesn't really need me anymore is an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about your other kids, because Anna and Jack, who were featured, in multiple episodes, right? And then have been on a lot of these trips with you and Connor. I mean, what is their trajectory like? I mean, I see them. I really see you guys being the next reality show family.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. We'll see. But what also has been so heartwarming for me is that to watch the siblings just circle. They always have been like that with him, but we're all Team Connor. We're all just kind of like, he's in front and we're behind, and we're all just happy to be here. And we're all so happy to support him. Our attitude is, because I've been asked, is there jealousy between the siblings? No, couldn't happen to a better guy.
And tell me, how is Tony handling all of this? I mean, like, because sometimes I see you on trips without Tony and he's staying back to take care of Coco.
I know. Yeah, right. Yeah, or just hold down the fort and like work the 9 to 5. But he's so supportive. He's been in Connor's life for 12 years and he is over the moon. And he is just like, we kind of think it's a season of our lives. And he's like, we all need to be all in, go do it. And I'll be right here. And he's just supportive as well. Right, Connor?
Yeah.
Connor, so let me ask you this. When it comes to, you met Tanner straight away. You got to finally meet some other cast members here recently. What's on the horizon for you? I mean, do we know? I know that season 3 has been renewed and you may or may not be able to talk about it, but what's coming up in the short term outside of filming? Like, what are your big events that you've got going on?
Well, Friday, I'm going to the beach. No.
Do you remember?
All right. I'm the Grand Marshal for a Special Olympics group.
That's awesome.
So the Georgia Special Olympics, yep, at Emory University, Connor's the Grand Marshal.
What? That's terrific, Connor. And what else do you have coming up? I know your calendar's got to be filling up.
Yes, and it's more than I can handle.
Some days, what we did, we decided.
Some days need to be guaranteed that I'm off.
So we put up a calendar in the kitchen and we did blackout days.
I love that, because you're still working. If you're working at Kroger and then you've got all of these special appearances and then things, I bet you're busy. You're like, I need time to decompress and play my video games or go to the Ren Fest with your family, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So Friday night he's got the Special Olympics. He's the Grand Marshal. Then he does get to go on a cool beach vacation. His English cousins are coming into town.
Awesome.
But then next Wednesday, Netflix is flying us back out to LA for another Emmy event that they're holding. And then we'll be back, and then we'll be doing an awesome event on June 8th. It's a fundraiser. It'll be at Central Park in Atlanta.
I love that.
And Connor will be appearing at that. And it's a young man. He has a YouTube channel, and it's called An Ordinary Guy with Autism. And he's a 13-year-old young man with autism. And he's doing a basketball charity. And Connor's going to help support that.
Connor, that's awesome.
And then we go back to California in July for a cool meet and greet in Anaheim, California with Tanner.
Wow. And so have you booked any?
It better not be on the 4th.
It's not the 4th of July. It's the end of July.
Have you booked any upcoming appearances on television shows like Kelly Clarkson or some of the other ones?
Yeah.
No?
We haven't been asked yet.
I don't plan to.
I can imagine it's pretty stressful.
Just want to have a quiet summer.
Yes, it is. It can be stressful.
Uneventful.
Yes, and he does.
I like it.
Yes.
Uneventful.
He likes it uneventful. It's nice.
Too much.
It's nice to watch Connor. Like keeps, like I said, couldn't happen to a better guy. He keeps 2 feet very planted in his regular life. He cherishes his regular life, and
I don't ever want to leave it.
No.
And you know what? And the best thing, you can pick and choose what you want to do, right, Mom? You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. You can kind of feel them out to see what you think is going to work best for you, right, Connor?
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, Connor, before I let you guys go, I have to get some sort of quote from you. I've had several friends that I've told that I'm going to have you on the show, and they're like, can you get a quote from him? And I'm like, well, I know he has all the merch quotes. Have you come up with any in the last couple of days that we can use to close out the show?
Women are like artichokes. Folks, you have to pull back a few leaves before you reach her heart.
Connor, you're awesome. I just adore you. And I can't wait. When you do have some time, you'll have to come back to a future Table Talk. I know everybody, you were the belle of the ball when you were there. And you and Emily, everybody just adored you. And we're so fascinated because I think what you're doing, putting yourself out there and your family putting themselves out there, you are creating autism acceptance. Whether you see it in the small or the big scheme of things, you really, really are. And it paves the way for my son, Lyric, who's only 11 and, you know, doing great things. The future is bright for you, honey, and the future is bright for all people who are neurodiverse. Thank you guys so much.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having me. Us.
What you guys don't know is Connor is saving all of his money to actually build a guest house on their property so that he has his own space to live. Isn't that cool? That's what he's doing with all the money that he's earning from his merch sales and from other appearances and things like that. You know, it really does. I love what they said. Autism acceptance, right? It's 2024. We got to get out of the dark ages. Everybody is different, whether they're neurotypical or neurodiverse. And we just have to learn how to accept. And it starts with parents, really, right? It starts with us teaching our children that somebody might not look the same, somebody might not talk the same, act the same. And you know what? It's okay. So I love that Connor and his family are out there being a force for good and just really spreading the awareness and acceptance when it comes to autism spectrum disorder. You know, I thank you so much for coming back week after week, a show after show. We feature, you know, tools, resources, organizations, foundations, cool people like Connor and Temple Grandin and everybody in between who have been on the show. And we just keep pushing forward. So if there's somebody in your neck of the woods that I need to be speaking with, please tell them to reach out. They can do it several different ways. You can comment and drop me their information below right here. You can always reach out to me on my website, gcast.com. My website is gcast.com, gkasts.com. As we continue to live this crazy journey called life, I appreciate you checking in with Life with the Spectrum. See ya. Bye.